Ladies and gentlemen, boys and NBs, welcome back once again to the DMZ for what is probably the last time. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, but that's okay. I took a lot of time off to go over my content and start a couple of other channels that I will let you know about shortly, but they are monetized and we are doing fantastic. Big things happening on the nosy front. But you're not here to listen to me ramble, you're here to talk about DMZ, so let's get right into that. But before we do, please make sure to like the video because it does so much for a small channel like mine. You have no idea. Subscribe. You want to find your way back. Probably watch the video if you're new here, then decide if you want to subscribe, but let's do it. So, all right, getting into this, DMZ was an absolute failure, and I'm going to tell you why. DMZ was nothing more than Battle Royale with extra steps. They tied it to Warzone, and that is the problem. DMZ should have been its own mode, not tied to Warzone or Modern Warfare 2. Much like you have to leave Modern Warfare 2 to go into Warzone, you should have had to do the same for DMZ, creating 3 different worlds. So they could patch Battle Royale, patch DMZ, and patch Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer separately. Now, Modern Warfare 3. We could still have DMZ going absolutely strong, but they killed it because zombies. Zombies simply cannot stand on its own because zombies is just DMZ without all the bells and whistles, even though DMZ was honestly in a very bad spot. So, I have a bunch of bullet points and I'm gonna run over these and just hear me out. And if you have anything to say, make sure to comment below on them. The first thing, we started asking for this the moment DMZ dropped, and that was a marketplace. A place to buy and sell goods, guns, armor, backpacks, all of the things you find in the world to create things, etc. To buy weapon attachments, all of it. So what we needed was, again, the ability to buy and sell attachments, mission items or passive items such as encrypted hard drives, the heavy chopper fuel, and Legion deal intel, just to name 3. Rare items like the black cell hand cream that you need for the serpentine camo, or the fish for the gun screen that goes with Heated Madness. Even selling the parts for Heated Madness so that you can take those and make money off of them by farming them to get money. Part of this also would be taking the money in the world and drastically reducing it, so it actually takes work to make money in the game. This creates scarcity and it makes people afraid to die. You have your ability to get whatever you want, but you have to work to get it. Therefore, you don't want to die, so even if you are a very skilled squad that is able to handle yourself in a PvP engagement, you don't want to risk your loot. Moving on and talking about insured weapons and the insured weapon slots. The insured weapons were a bad idea in the way they launched them, and I'm gonna tell you why. Giving everyone a gun every 15 minutes, hour, or 2 hours, or all of these super short times they give them to us in is just a horrible idea. With the absolute meta attachments, everyone is always running a meta gun, you always know what you're going to run into, and it's always a straight up fair fight. The point of an extraction shooter is much like a battle royale, and there's supposed to be fights that are unfair, and you simply cannot get that when everybody has access to the best guns in the game. And in my humble opinion, the way to remedy this with the insured weapon slots is to keep them the way they are, but however, you only get the gun. You don't have the ability to put 5 attachments on the gun or tune them down. You should be able to tune guns at weapon stations only. Say I want to take a TAC 56 in an insured slot. The second I equip it, that slot goes on cooldown, and that TAC 56 becomes contraband. I can choose whatever blueprint for the base of the gun I want, but it becomes contraband. So I can still lose it the same way I would before, and somebody else can take it. But I have to go into the world and find the attachments for it, or I have to buy them from the marketplace. And with this, you should be able to attach attachments like small zoom optics or no zoom optics, suppressors, bigger magazines, and underbarrels or your foregrips right in the field without a weapon station. However, your big scopes, your barrels, your stocks, etc. should require you to go to a weapon station to change these attachments. With this, these attachments should take up 1 slot in your bag unless it's a very high zoom optic or a very big suppressor. A barrel, things like that should take up 2 slots in your bag, and you should be able to carry these things with you. And if you die, they're in your bag mag to be looted by the person who killed you. This would bring so much depth to the weapon system, and with those stations, the weapon stations, you should also be able to apply camos and blueprints to that specific attachment as you put it on your gun. With this, insured weapons having 0 attachments, that is fantastic. This means you would have reason to log in and pull guns for your contraband twice a day, even if you're not playing that day. As far as the weapon attachments go, to expand on that, with the marketplace, you would buy and sell attachments to equip to any contraband gun, including those that were once you're insured before you equipped them. Attachments like muzzles, foregrips, and small optics, attachable without a weapon station and only taking up 1 slot. Things like scopes, barrels, sniper scopes, and things of the like require 2 bag slots and require you to go to a weapon station to attach them. All attachments require a weapon station to apply a blueprint to them, however. Allow us to have a secondary storage tab under contraband to store weapon parts, which has its own passives to expand, and we should be able to have 3 or 4 times as many weapon parts as we do weapons. Say I am running an M4, I just dropped in on a regain having no attachments, and I kill an HVT. I get an optic and a foregrip from the HVT's gun. Since it's a small optic, I can attach both right in the field. Later, I kill a player running an FR Advancer with a suppressor and a 60-round magazine. Both of these are the same as the ones the M4 uses, so I can immediately slap the 60 mag and that suppressor onto my M4. However, say I kill somebody with an M4 running the 20-inch barrel. I now have to go to a weapon station if I want to put that 20-inch barrel on my gun. Next up, let's talk about assimilation. 6-mans did not ruin DMZ. I'm sorry, PvP is a great thing. The problem is we had an oversaturation of PvP. There was that time they gave us the ability to revive down players without them joining our squad. This was absolutely incredible. The only flaw was this timer was around 2 minutes when it should have been more like 10 to 15 minutes. There's no reason anyone should be reviving someone just to kill them. This would greatly negate that, making it impossible to kill each other until late game, where situationals change and you may have alliances that are very different. For 6-mans, again, 6-mans were not a bad thing for DMZ. Some of the greatest experiences I've ever had in DMZ were wiping 6-mans as a solo or duo. The problem was pre-made 6-mans. The solution for this was to use the unique Activision IDs that we are all given to start a 72-hour cooldown anytime we assimilate into a squad with another Activision ID, meaning for 72 hours, those people who assimilated cannot assimilate with each other again. But you still can assimilate with anyone else who you have not assimilated with in the past 72 hours. This immediately makes it so teams can only pre-make twice a week, immediately removing pre-mades from the equation entirely, almost. If you happen to run into the same squad in another game during this cooldown, you can still agree to a ceasefire and go separate directions, including using the truce system to revive if you've killed them by mistake and you are friends. PvP and a karma system, this is huge. A big thing that DMZ needs is a very simple feature, and that is a karma system. Anytime you knock a player who has not dealt damage to you first, you receive a set amount of bad karma, which doubles if that player is finished. Or if I knock a player and my teammate kills them, we each get, I don't know, 10 bad karma. Reviving a down team is good karma unless you are the team that killed them, then you get none. Assimilating does not affect karma. Killing bounties, the guys with red circles over them, gives you a large karmic. I should have 40 good karma because I get 50 for killing the guy with the red circle. Players have a red, yellow, or green icon above their heads and on their in-game mic pop-ups to let you know if they are trustworthy, neutral, or hostile. However, never forget that a player with a green icon, meaning they are supposedly trustworthy, still has the ability to kill you if they see something on you that they want or they just want to. So there is still that risk when you are engaging with other players. players. Fixing your karma, if it is bad, can be accomplished by doing bounty contracts, meaning the actual contracts, not the red circles on the map for the quote big game bounties of the world that have killed many players. This is the other system, not the guys with extremely bad karma, just mediocre bad karma or on the low end of neutral, which that would mean all bounty contracts in game would then fall on players with the worst karma within the lobby that you are in, which, tying in our systems mentioned before, that means these are the guys most likely to have the highest tier loot in the game, so you can get a huge come up if you're able to take out a bounty contract or a big bounty red circle on the map. This system would have changed DMZ so much to where it would have been an absolute paradise to play if you were not a scummy player. As far as missions and the wipes that we did receive, I did want to touch on this. One of the largest issues DMZ had was a lack of meaningful content. Most of the rewards were lackluster, and we only received 2 wipes in a full year of content. Passives were not easily attainable due to oversaturation of PvP. So what needed to be changed there? With the systems above would have allowed you to do these things much easier. So then you can accomplish these things, which allows for wipes. Most extraction shooters set your account back to as if they are a day 1 account around 4 times a year. With DMZ, this would have been incredible if every 3 to 4 months they set our accounts back to as if it was day 1 and we had to start all over. However, it should have been 10 times to 50 times better than what they were, giving us a reason to do these missions, these passives, go after these weapons crates, etc. Another thing I'm just going to throw in here that I threw around with my friends a lot is once you've collected everything from the weapons case, they should have made it to where the weapons case gave 100 COD points to the team that extracted it, meaning the original 3-person team, each person gets 100 COD points. Imagine the epic fights that would have happened over that weapons case. You could actually get COD points off of it. That's just a caveat. I know it's a pipe dream and it would never happen because that's literally giving things away for free. Activision likes their money, but I figured I'd slip it in. Moving on, let's talk about closing statements with all of this. With all of that said, the solution would be to follow the formula of extraction shooters that are already on the market by having everything reset as if you are a day 1 account roughly 4 times a year, changing up the 4 factions missions to new ones, and at mid wipe adding an additional tier 6 and tier 7 of absurdly hard missions with incredible rewards that everyone would want, which rival that of things like the Black Cell or even the 2400 COD point bundles in player skins or weapon skins. Each wipe completing all of your passives should give a highly sought after reward of a blueprint or character skin that is actually worth using. And the same goes for unlocking all 3 unshirt slots. I'm just a guy who's been playing shooters for 2.5 decades, 5 years of that at the professional level. What do I know? I'm pretty sure most of you will agree with this video though. Did I miss something? Could we make something on this list better? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is so much help for a small channel like mine. And most importantly, make sure you can find your way back here and subscribe with the bell turned on. I've been Nolsey, and FPS games are in a weird space right now. I'll see you in Urzikstan. GG's, boys.
Am I pretentious or am I not? For thinking I'm the shit and knowing you're not. So call me a princess, get that a lot. At least I own up to the things that I'm not.